Hey everyone, welcome in. My name is Angie Norris and you're on my YouTube channel, 60 and a Senior. I'm 60 years old and I'm a senior citizen. And on this YouTube channel, we talk about bookish things. I do videos which involve reading wrap-ups, book reviews, upcoming new release videos, TBR list, all sorts of things. And I tell you what I like or what I've read and what my opinions are from the viewpoint of a more mature individual. So we'll leave it at that. Today we're going to be doing my TBR list for August. Stick around. Okay, so for the month of May and June, for 2 months, I had seen people all over YouTube doing this where they had prompts that were on little pieces of paper in a jar, and how they would choose a certain number, and based on the prompt, what was on the piece of paper, that would help them to choose a book that would be on their TBR list. And I absolutely loved it. Did it in the month of May, did it in the month of June. In July, I did not do it because I participated in the Deck of TBR-a-thon, readathon, that was sponsored by Becca at Pango Books and Bujo and Chloe at Always Booked. And so that game, or that readathon, was where you used a playing deck of cards that then led you to a spreadsheet, depending on what card you drew, that led you to a list of prompts that helped you choose your book. And today is July 30th. That readathon ends tomorrow. So I need to choose some books for August. Initially, I was thinking about going back to the prompt jar, but I was watching Krista over at Books and Jams, and her birthday was earlier this month, and she did a video where she opened up a lot of books that she had received because it was her birthday from her Amazon wish list. And she just offhandedly made a comment that she was going to think about having a month that was dedicated to her reading books that had been gifted to her. And I thought, wow, light bulb went off in my head. I had a big birthday in April. I turned 60, and I had an Amazon wish list, and I was gifted a lot of books during the month of April. And then I also belong to a group on Facebook that are fellow bookworms. In fact, I'll leave the link to that Facebook group below. It's called In My Bookworm Era. And other readers are in this group, and they play a game where every Friday you get to post your Amazon book wish list. It's called Happy Fairy Friday. And if you want to be a fairy and gift someone a book off of their wish list, it earns you points and yada, yada, yada. I won't go into too many details. But since I've joined that group, I have been gifted several books. I have also gifted to other people, tit for tat, but that has caused me to receive a lot of gifted books as well. And I am very, very grateful. If anyone is watching this that has gifted me a book, I am very grateful. And because of that, when someone gifts me a book, I do feel a little bit more, not pressure, but I feel like if you gift me a book that I should at least try to read it within 6 months, maybe. I mean, you know, I have a long TBR list, but I do feel a little bit more urgency to read it or to get it on my TBR list sooner rather than later. So because I have been gifted quite a bit since April, I thought, why don't I choose August and let that be the month that I read the books that have been gifted to me. So what we're going to do today is we're not going to draw prompts. I'm just going to go through and show you my pile of possibilities of the things that I'm going to read in the month of August. So stay tuned. Okay, I belong to, I've kind of lost count. I think it's 3 book clubs that I belong to. One of them, it's not once a month, it's every other month. And so the book club, this is an in-person book club that I belong to. They are meeting August the 18th. And so I have to read the book for that book club before then. So I'm going to just show you what that is. It was not gifted to me. I did purchase the book off Pango, but the book that was chosen for our book club that is meeting August 18th is Going Rogue, a Stephanie Plum novel. It's in that series by Janet Ivanovich. I'm not sure how to pronounce that last name. I believe it is a mystery. I don't really know that much about it, but it is a must read for August because the group is meeting on August 18th. So yeah, I think this Stephanie Plum series is a mystery series. And it says Monday mornings aren't supposed to be fun, but they should be predictable. However, on this particular Monday, Stephanie Plum knows that something is amiss when she turns up for work at Vinnie's Bail Bonds to find the door locked, the coffee pot empty, and the usual box of Boston cream donuts absent. That's because longtime office manager Connie Rizzoli, who is as reliable as the tides in Atlantic City, hasn't shown up. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, but it's entitled Going Rogue. So that's a must read for August. So that's on the TBR list. And then the second book club that I belong to is an annotated book club. And in this round, there are 4 people participating. It started May 15th. I'm the 3rd person to receive this book. So I need to read this in the month of August. And the title of this one is Group: How One Therapist and a Circle of Strangers Saved My Life. It was a Reese's book club. And so what we do in this annotated book club is each person that annotates it uses a different color Post-it note, sticky note, whatever you want to call them. And so you'll see one person has chosen yellow and one person has chosen pink. So you'll see some notes in it here. This is one annotation note from the person who used the yellow one. And then there's on the same page, and this one kind of folds down and you can read the person's notes. So it's kind of fun being in this annotated book club. So I will be the 3rd person to read this one. So it's a must read for August. But other than that, the rest of my August is open to the books that have been gifted to me. Now, I normally, when I do a TBR list, I normally pick out 7 books because on the average, I read 7 books a month. I read 11 in July. I think I read 10 in June. But 7 is a good number that I feel comfortable with. So if I have to read those 2, I have room for 5 more. So let's get started. The first one is a mystery thriller. This is a book that was gifted to me by my daughter back in April. It's entitled Hidden Pictures by Jason, and I cannot pronounce his last name, Rekulak, I don't know, Rekulak. I'm probably slaughtering his last name. I apologize to the author. But this one has been on my shelf since April, and I've heard it was a great book. It was highly recommended to me by someone whose opinion I respect. They are like me. They lots of times figure out a mystery thriller, and it takes a lot to surprise them. And they said that this book really surprised them. And so that's what intrigued me. I put it on my Amazon wish list, and it was gifted to me by my daughter. So it is going to be number 1 in the month of August. Second is a book that my son gave me for my birthday. And this is a memoir by Ann Wilson. Ann Wilson is a Christian singer. She wrote the song My Jesus, and that's the name of her memoir, My Jesus from Heartache to Hope. So I'm very excited. This one's probably not going to take me that long. It is like 194 pages, this little paperback. But that's number 2. Then I had someone from my church that gifted this book to me. It is entitled A Generous Life, 10 Steps to Living a Life Money Can't Buy by David Green, with Bill High. David Green is the CEO or president of Hobby Lobby. And he bought this book, loved it, and then he went back to the bookstore and bought lots of copies and then gave a lot of them away. He gave this one to me. So that is on the priority list for the month of August as well. And then a friend of mine who I've never met, I became friends with her because she runs one of the annotated book clubs that I belong to. She actually gifted me this book. And she had this sweet note on the front. It says, just because you deserve to have your kindness returned to you, hope you will enjoy and review the book. This one is entitled Wrapped in Rain by Charles Martin. And I've never read anything by this author, but this is what the description says. It says, an internationally famous photographer, Tucker Mason, has traveled the world capturing things other people don't see. But what Tucker himself can't see is how to let go of the past and forgive his father. On a sprawling southern estate, Tucker and his younger brother, Mutt, were raised by their housekeeper, Miss Ella Rain, who loved the motherless boys like her own. Hiring her to take care of Waverly Hall and the boys was the only good thing their father ever did. When his brother escapes from a mental hospital and an old girlfriend appears with her son and a black eye, Tucker is forced to return home and face the agony of his tragic past. Though Miss Ella has been gone for many years, Tucker can still hear her voice and her prayers. But finding peace and starting anew will take a measure of grace that Tucker scarcely believes in. So I believe this is a Christian fiction, and I am excited to read this one as well. It's a paperback, but it is, let's see, how many pages is it? A little over 300, like 330. So that one is on my list. And then my grandson gifted me this one in April. It was on my Amazon wish list. This is a historical fiction by Patty Callahan Henry entitled The Story She Left Behind. I am a huge historical fiction fan. This one is set in 1927. It says, in 1927, 8-year-old Clara Harrington's magical childhood shatters when her mother, renowned author Bronwyn Newcastle Fordham, disappears off the coast of South Carolina. Bronwyn, a literary prodigy, had stunned the world by writing a fantasy novel that became a national sensation when she was just 12. Her mysterious departure leaves behind not only a devoted husband and heartbroken daughter, but also the hope of ever translating the sequel to her landmark work, written in an enigmatic and invented language. As the headlines focus on the missing author, Clara yearns for something far deeper and more insatiable, her beautiful mother. The Story She Left Behind by Patty Callahan Henry. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would make 7. I do have a few more that I'm going to add to the pile of possibilities that were gifted to me from my Facebook buddies that are in my Bookworm Era Facebook group. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Can't talk tonight. I've heard so many good things about this book. I have not read anything by Taylor Jenkins Reid yet. I think I'm behind the times a little bit. So I'm excited to read this one. So hopefully I will get to it. And then I got 2 books that were gifted to me by Donna Everhart. And I found out that Donna Everhart is, I don't know if she's from North Carolina or all of her books are set in North Carolina. It may be both. But these intrigued me because they are historical fictions. They are both set in North Carolina. And if you have followed my channel for a little while, you know I'm from North Carolina. I live in North Carolina. So I love reading books that are set in North Carolina or that are about our state. And so this one is entitled When the Jessamine Grows. And this one is entitled The Saints of Swallow Hill. They are both historical fiction. I love, my favorite genre is historical fiction and mystery thriller. I do like to throw a little romance in every once in a while. I also love women's contemporary fiction as well. I'm not a huge fantasy or science fiction reader, although I have read some, but not a huge fan. So those are my pile of possibilities for my TBR list for August. I don't really know what to call it because there is a G in August, but it's not the beginning letter. So we're gonna entitle it Giving in August or Gifted Books in August. That's what I'm reading, are books that have been gifted to me. There are still more on my shelf, but I am hoping that this will make a huge dent in that list. And then maybe for September, we'll go back to the prompt jar. You guys have a great night. If you are not subscribing to my channel, 60 and a Senior, I wish you would hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Y'all have a great night.